Hey guys, so this is Repellent. This is the online IDE that I mentioned earlier. This is the IDE I would recommend you guys use. By the way, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. It is what we use to write our code in, and it just makes the experience a little bit easier for us. And so we're not writing it just in plain text. IDEs have a bunch of features like text completion, and they just help you code better, and it makes it a little easier to write the programs that you want. Anyway, that being said, Repellent is an online IDE, so you are going to need to have access to the internet to use this. That is one thing. And then also, they have a mobile they have a mobile app too. So if you don't have a computer, this is very good for you. You're going to want to download it, and that is. So I'm just scrolling down here. They have this. I think the website's just awesome. Like when you scroll up and down, they have it looking like this. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to do a full tutorial on how to use the mobile application, but it is here. You can get it on Apple or on Android, and you just type in Repellent, and I'm sure it'll pop up. You can go through the setup process on there. So if you don't have a computer, this is a great way to do it as well. That being said, um, how do you set this up? How do you get started with this? Well, all you do really is you just create an account. Okay, you can if you already have an account for some reason, you can obviously log in. But if you do not, you click the sign up button, and they give you the option to do it with all these different accounts. So if you have a Google account or Facebook or whatever, you can log in with those. Otherwise, you can just type it in manually if you have another one. If you have another type of account you'd like to use for Repellent. When you create your account and everything, they are going to, I think they're going to give you like a little survey. They're going to ask you some stuff. You can just skip that or just answer it, whatever. But after that is done, you should get to a page that is similar to this, okay? If not exactly the same. Um, so, well, it's going to look like that, actually. So you're going to be on this home tab, and now I know there might be a lot of stuff here going on, but don't worry too much about all of this yet. What you really want to look at and focus on is this stuff on the left. You have these things like teams, themes. You can get different themes for this. It's pretty neat. Some Here's some more resources if you want. Here's the community. I mean, they have a bunch of stuff. I'll let you guys play around with that. But the main tab you're looking for is My Repels. Okay. And this is where all of your code's going to be. So what you want to do is to create a new repel, you click this little button up here, and it'll create a new repel for you. And we'll show you how to do that. But the main thing you want to do for this course, this is what I would suggest, is I would create a new folder here. And the folder is going to be down here. See, I already have one that says my stuff. Um, so you're going to create a new folder. You can call it JS course. If I can type course like this. And you create the folder. And then what you want to do is you want to click in here. And now this brings you into the actual folder itself. And you can create a new repel here. You can create another new folder inside of this folder if you want. Or you can click here to create a new repel. Okay. So we're going to create a new repel in here, and this is going to put it inside of this folder. And so the template we want, this is pretty much asking you, what do you want to code in? Okay, now there's a bunch of different ones in here, right? You have the one that we're going to use is Node.js, but there's C++, there's Python, there's C, they got it all here. So whatever you're interested in, you can play around with it. But again, the one we're using is going to be Node.js. And then this is what you're gonna pick for every single time. Every time you make a new assignment, every time you want to get started on a new assignment, this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna pick Node.js, and then the title is what's gonna change. So we can name this assignment one, right? Um, or whatever assignment you're doing, or whatever you want to name it, you can name it. And then we create the repel, and then it creates it, and it brings you to this page here. And it's just going to look like this. And you have your index, you have all this other stuff. You're not, Don't worry too much about this stuff down here. This tools, like you'll probably never use that. You can close it. This is also not very important. You're not going to use very many resources with this class, so you don't have to worry about that. Package.json, don't worry about that either. The only thing you need to look at is this index.js. This is where you're going to be working out of. Um, you can also, actually, you can also invite people here. So if you click this, you can send somebody an email and they can pair program with you, or you can just create a link. And there can be a lot of people in one little session here, and you guys can all program together if you wanted to. This obviously runs the code, and this outputs the code here in the console. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's just make the console log something like "Hello World," right? Let's try that. "Hello World." Make sure everything runs. Okay. So let's see if it does what it's supposed to do. It does. Okay. So that's how you log something to the console. And there's your first little lesson. Okay, console.log is very useful. It's very useful for debugging. So if you're trying to find a bug, you can use this um, to kind of show you where you're at, show you some outputs. See how things look. Um, anyway, that's pretty much it for Repel It. You don't really need to have more than one file in the class. You're going to just work out of one file most of the time. You're going to write everything out of one file and you just run it through here and that's it. So, okay. So that's Repel It. This is the one that I would recommend using. I think it's the easiest one to use it's the easiest to set up. Visual Studio Code, we're going to go over next. Visual Studio Code is very nice as well. I think that it's a little bit, it's a little, it's still not too bad to set up. I think it's not hard to set up, but it's an extra step or two. It's not as easy as, oh, just create an account and start. So, but we'll go over that, and then you guys can decide which one you want to use. And again, if you don't want to use Visual Studio Code, if you want to just stick to this, then hey, just use this. Nothing wrong with that either. Okay, let's go on to Visual Studio Code.